Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright guys, the content that we're going to talk about tonight is there are new death numbers and data related to firearms that has been released, and of course, the media jumped right on it. Now the article that I'm going to be covering is from the US News. It's linked in the description box. But I'm going to show you something to get you in front of what the gun controllers are going to say, because this is the most damning evidence of the leftist policies over the last 2 years when it comes to firearms, crime, and guns, and defunding the police that you will ever see. This is really important. Watch this whole video because this is going to show you exactly how to counter the coming arguments that are going to happen in the election, on everyday conversations, everywhere. Really important. I'm going to do a quick read from our sponsor who made this video and research possible. I'm going to hit it and show it to you on the other side. Now, SDI is the sponsor for this week's videos. Have you ever thought about making a living in the firearms industry? If you enjoy gun repair, ballistics, and learning about firearms, Sonoran Desert Institute might just be a good fit for you. To find out more about SDI, visit sdi.edu in the link in the description, and thank you so much to SDI to making this possible. But now let's dive into this, guys. I want to show you this because this is exactly where they're going to go, and what do we do on this channel is jump in front of them, and we look at their why, okay? So this is really framed from a perspective of woke DAs and defunding the police. Keep in mind, defund the police came about in May of 2020. Well, 2020 are the numbers I'm about to show you. Check this out. Let me hear from you in the comments. All right. The U.S. gun death rate surged in 2020. In a record year for gun deaths, the gap between suicide and homicide also shrank. Now that's the really important part here. Because what have I always said on this channel? According to 2019, the suicide was 2/3 of all firearm death, right? You guys recall that. Well, it's changing, but look what it's changing to, because this is very interesting in a horribly depressing way. The rate at which people have died by firearms in the US has generally increased in recent years, but saw its greatest spike in approximately 4 decades in 2020. Now let's keep going. I'm going to walk you through this data, and I'm going to show you a graph that's going to blow your mind. Nearly 14 out of every 100,000 people that year died by firearm, making it a more than 13% increase from 2019 and the largest jump in the crude gun death rate since 1981. As reported by USA Facts, the number of firearm deaths increased from 43% in 2010 to 2020, and guns accounted for 1.3% of all deaths in 2020. So that's just build up, right? Overall in 2020, guns accounted for 45,222 deaths. That's right at the exact same number as it was, well, very close to the same number it was in 2019, according to the Center of Disease Control. Including 24,292 deaths by suicide, so that number stayed constant, and 19,384 deaths by homicide. Now that number jumped, which gave you a total number jump, okay? Other categories include, that doesn't matter. So now let me show you this actual graph. This is important, guys. This is where I want to hear from you in the comments. Look at the graph I'm showing you. Firearm death rate unexpectedly shoots upward. Again, same year as defunding the police happens and woke DAs took power. You notice something interesting, that the suicide rate stayed exactly the same, so a constant. So nothing happened exogenously from impacting the suicide rate. But homicide spiked up in incredibly rapid fashion. Extremely rare for the past 30 to 40 years on this graph, right? Check this out. Let's keep going. I'm going to give you a little bit more data. Suicide deaths by firearm were the 4th leading cause of injury deaths among those one and older in 2020, according to the CDC, while homicides by firearm were 5th. So still behind suicides. Both were preceded by unintentional poisoning, that includes drug overdoses, unintentional falls, and unintentional motor vehicle traffic. Okay, so it's behind poisoning, falling, and traffic. One recent study, however, found that firearm deaths passed motor vehicle crashes as the leading cause of years of potential life loss. We cover that on this channel because it's not a real number. They just made it up, okay? Now I'm going to show you what the woke DAs are doing, and this is an example from Philadelphia. Gun possessions arrests soar while conviction rates fall. Now the piece that I want to bring to you is, you notice on the left side where gun arrests are soaring, they're shooting upward, especially between 2019 and 2020. The exact same time woke DAs took over Philadelphia and defund the police happened. So you had a rapid shoot up. Well, what could cause that? More guns? No. Because if you look on the other side, conviction rates fell to 49%. They fell 8%. Well, there's a correlation between the gun conviction rate falling and the gun arrest rising, because the people, you're just arresting them twice. The policies of defunding the police and woke DAs where they're not arresting anyone, and the clearance rate in Philadelphia, I've done videos on it, is abysmal. You wonder why there's more gun arrests? Because you're not arresting and prosecuting these people. You're letting them back out, which shows you exactly what's happening. And if you correlate that with a spike in homicide rates, I wonder what the real cause is. And that's what I've got for you guys tonight. I tried to keep it high level and land the plane as quickly and effectively as I could. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you tomorrow morning on the Bullet Points. I'm Braden. See you later.